You're listening to the Simplifiers podcast, where we take topics in business and in life and simplify them. Award-winning event producer and educator Mary Baird-Wilcock, CSEP, will help you break it all down, figure it out, and spark you to do the thing. It's time to simplify. Here's your host, mentor, and undercover superhero, Mary Baird-Wilcock.
Hello, and welcome back to the Simplifiers podcast, where the secret to life is all about simplifying. In fact, doing less in order to thrive and accomplish more. And on Fridays, we release a short bonus episode highlighting a super thought of the day. These mini episodes will help you spark new ideas, new ways of thinking, or simply challenge some old beliefs that you might have. And today, I want to simplify how to actually live with less. Really. Earlier this week, I spoke with Miranda Anderson of Live Free Creative, all about how to be a minimalist, and I loved hearing about her family's year-long experiment of not buying anything new. Okay, beyond food and consumables. Like me, she's got kids, and she too even lived a hot second in Austin, Texas, the land of mega McMansion-style homes and big box stores chock full of every knick-knack, paddy-whack plastic thing of your dreams to fill it with. But how do we take what she taught us and actually put it into practice? Here's what's been bubbling up for me as I too simplify down and learn to live with less. 3 simple steps. Inquire, one for one, and release. So let's simplify all of this. Step 1, inquire. Okay, so I have to share a secret. When the kids were little, one of my favorite pastimes to get a little quiet time and breathing room was to peel away for an hour and aimlessly wander the aisles of Target. If you're American, you understand what I'm talking about. Air conditioning, no music piped in, expansive ceilings, no one's bothering you or bumping into you, and everything you didn't know you needed, but totally desperately need right now, is there. How have I gone this long without a plastic cactus soap holder? Raise your hand if you've ever done this as well. But you know as well as I do, you go into a store like this for one thing, and then you come out having spent $100, right? So here's my tip. The next time you're tempted to buy something new and shiny, just take a micro moment and ask yourself, do I really need this? And more importantly, what can I let go of in order to make space for this new thing? In order to live with less, you've got to know why you're buying more and more first. Just taking that moment to flip your brain from unconscious shopping to awareness in the present might help you to see the underlying reason you're drawn to this new thing in the first place. It's all about taking a split second to question why you think you might need it. Is it filling an emotional gap? Is a thing just a thing, or do you have hopes and expectations that it'll make someone happy or, create more harmony in your household? Or do you think you deserve it? Whatever the reason is, take a step back and observe what your brain does in this very moment to rationalize your desire for this new thing. No shame. It's just an honest moment for inquiry and assessment before you put it in your basket or trolley. Step 2, one for one. I loved what Miranda said about one for one mentality during their year-long experiment. So when the children needed new sandals, they would replace the old pair with a new one. Not 3, just 1. So each child might have 1 pair of sandals, 1 pair of running shoes, and 1 pair of school shoes. And that's it. Okay, so here's the tip. Could you incorporate that one-for-one rule into your own lifestyle? Okay, so I know for some people, shoes are a touchy subject and you can never have enough of them. But what about your kitchen? How many ladles are really necessary? Could you pare down the kitchen appliances that haven't been used since the holidays last year and just borrow them from family and friends instead? Could you invest in a really nice set of knives because, you use them daily, and then let go of the subpar ones that you seem to replace constantly? Where can you simplify here? Remember, living with less might also mean making the conscious decision to stop buying crap stuff from dollar stores that you have to replace all the time, and instead invest in fewer high-quality items that will last you a lifetime. Step 3, release. If you were to walk through your entire house right now, room by room, which room do you feel would be the easiest one to pare down first? Maybe it's a place where you don't feel as emotionally triggered. Maybe the laundry room or the hall closet, or a spot that you feel isn't quite as daunting as, say, your closet full of clothes. Start here first to build confidence and get the momentum going. It's time to release the things that no longer serve you. So, as mentioned earlier, here's my tip. If you bring in a new thing, you must make space for it, which means letting go of something else. Remember, there is no need for 8 pairs of scissors in your house. Unless you run a kids' art school in your living room. So take an hour, a morning, or even a weekend to begin this process of releasing. When you look at each and every item that you're hanging on to, room by room, could you donate it to a local charity shop, knowing that someone out in the world could really actually use that thing, like today? Ask yourself, do you use this thing regularly right now, or are you keeping it for that one special day, but it never seems to come? What would it feel like to let it go and gain a little breathing room and space in your life? This is how you begin to release and surrender in order to actually live with less. And just one final whisper, just for me to you, dear friend, coming closer. In my mind, living with less doesn't mean sacrificing. It simply means getting clear on what you surround yourself with and why. For me, I ask myself, okay, so what's the underlying motivation I'm feeling when I want to buy something new? Again, is a thing just a thing, or am I putting a deeper meaning or anchor unconsciously onto it? As I get older, I realize that collecting stuff doesn't bring me happiness. In our 20s and 30s, you guys, we were all brainwashed to believe that bigger is better, and the bigger your house, the nicer your car, and the more shoes you have, the more successful you really, truly are. You are finally #winning. And for some, that might be true. But for me, I'm starting to question that belief and really slowing down to ponder, is that thought really still serving me? And if not, what am I going to do differently now? The strive mentality of earn more, buy more, rinse and repeat, when does it end? When I'm dead in my grave, passing along a giant load of credit card debt and loans to my children to deal with? Is that fair? Is it really serving anyone? What if I could actually live a life with less and be more content? If you're thinking about trying to pare down your stuff or re-examine your shopping habits, I really want to encourage you in this moment. It's not a flip of the switch kind of instantaneous change. It takes time to shift your mindset towards seeing less as expansive, abundant, and freedom. So be gentle on yourself and start this exploration one room at a time, both in your mind and in your home. This process might totally be messy and will never look perfect like the false realities people project on social media. But that's okay. It never was supposed to be. This is your opportunity to take stock on what your life looks like now and where you want to head next. Maybe living with less actually means carrying less on your shoulders, or downsizing to a home that feels more cozy, or even letting go of the anchors that have been holding you back for ages, but you're too afraid to shed. When you decide to live with less as an empowered choice, you find many new doors open up for you. So whatever your journey is, know this, you are not alone. Start small. Drink loads of water. Ask for help. Inquire on the why. Maybe consider a one-for-one mentality and release the stuff that you no longer need. You can do this. I believe in you. It's time to simplify. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to get more of this awesome goodness coming to you automatically on Tuesdays and Fridays. And thank you so much for listening. Also, big thanks to our undercover superheroes at The Simplifiers podcast that help us create these episodes for you each and every week. Susan Marie, our podcast editor, Jeffrey Lynn, our video editor, Janine Yardley, our show notes editor, and Lyden Yardley, our director of brilliance. Manminder Athwal is our blogger. Our advisory board includes Aubrey Nowitzki, Chris Jutsis, and George Mills. And I'm your host, Mary Baird-Wilcock. Thank you so much for listening and telling your peeps about us. As always, friends, keep things simple.
Thanks for listening to the Simplifiers podcast. Find the show notes for this episode and all others at thesimplifierspodcast.com. Know someone in your life who needs to simplify? Be a hero and share our podcast with them. And we will see you here next time. As always, keep it simple.